junk or not junk? It's hard to know exactly what is worth our time. I am obsessed with learning what we should even, bother with. But to know what is worth considering, we must consider everything. For without comparison and contrasting, what would we have to determine what is better than others? So, in my journey of refining myself and my processes, I'm always taking notes, and this is one. And sometimes I bring people into my process. I'm self-taught, and so 5 years ago, the old adage was basically, we unlock cars about the same as tow truck drivers. And these have never been something I've been remotely fond of. In the door tools or under the window always scare me. Seem like a liability just waiting to happen. Even the airbag, I use the airbag mostly on Toyota and Hyundai. That's it. Sometimes the oddball shape. But when I discovered leashes, I was blown away. Contextually, I started as a lock picker, a hobby, sportist, whatever you call it. But like anything I'm passionate about, I dig deeper. And I began to buy equipment off of Craigslist. I bought a storage unit that was owned by a locksmith, and he could no longer work for whatever reasons, and he sold me everything he had in it for $1,500. And I got that $1,500 by selling my 1996 Jeep Cherokee Classic, and it was awesome. It snowed the winter before, like 16 inches, and we never got stuck. And it was my only vehicle, so I took a real risk. But his entire estate fit into a U-Haul cargo van. Didn't even fill it. This is one of the original items, and so is this. I still have them. Those are still the blank IDs that he wrote. In fact, one of these sides is still set up the way that he had set it up. It's actually that one over there. But I studied everything. I didn't know anything. I didn't know which key blank went into a quick set lock. I didn't know how to duplicate a key. I figured it out by trial and error. And that's just kind of been the Tao of how I work. I taught myself how to use this machine. And I've learned that, it's just really fun to me to reverse engineer or decode. That's another word for reverse engineer. I taught myself how to solder and how to do EEPROM. I taught myself how to lockpick. I mean, I've never worked for another locksmith ever. It's something that just I was intrigued in, and I didn't stop there. I said, well, maybe I can do it. And so I tried. And I'll be damned if, you can buy lockpicks online, no license necessary. You can get them anywhere, eBay even. And I remember I was buying padlocks, waiting on them to come in the mail. And I'd buy a padlock at Walmart. Every time I just happened to go by a padlock shelf, I'd buy one. And there was this galvanized master padlock that I thought was pretty, and I was like, that's going to be the one I'm going to try first. and my lock picks came in the mail, and it came with a book, like a 5-page book called Easy Pickings, and I read through it, stuck in the tension wrench into the master lock in a snake rake, which I never use ever to this day, ever, anymore. Which is why it's kind of ironic, but I stuck in that snake rake and it just went, and the padlock popped open, and I was like, oh my god, how easy was that? And so I could have stopped there, but I didn't. I learned how to pick Medico padlocks. I learned how to pick high security padlocks. And those that I can't pick, like this fucking bastard, pardon my French by the way, Sergeant Queso, chips and dip. I can't pick that, but I keep it around to practice on and study. And I watch people that can pick it, their methods, stuff like that. And I look at myself and say, what am I not doing that they're doing, or what are they doing that I can't, you know? And I try to work up the goal ladder, as I call it. I wanted to do EPROM on car modules. And I said, man, you ain't got the skill, you need to practice. But you don't even know how to solder. So I bought a soldering iron, studied, taught myself how to solder. I've got a broken framing right now. It's a piece of engineering equipment. I got it disassembled and rebuilding it. You know, I've actually repainted it, and I don't like the paint, so I'm going to strip it and redo it. But I am capable, I have learned, of doing that. In this. In that. And I'm capable of looking at these, every one of them just about, and saying to myself, what does it go to? What year, make, system, etc. You know? And this is all stuff that you can teach yourself. Like this. I am obsessed now with the idea of salvaging and repairing. So much is wasted in the world, and I'm not going to go greenleaf on you, but I'm just saying, just imagine that you think this is just a key that, where does it go? We don't know. Not important anymore. Well, to me, this is a perfectly good pre-cut that I can sell to a customer. I could modify it. I could cut one depth deeper right here just to ensure that this doesn't open a lock somewhere else. And I can quickly rekey a lock and use it, as opposed to getting on site, rekeying a lock, and code cutting a key there and adding to my workload. So it's just like, I don't know. In my eyes, the world of locksmithery is potentially limitless. And I am blown away by the technology, knowledge, and skill that was derived from the simple, well, not so simple it seems, idea of just securing something, you know? I am a scientist that studies keys and locks. Essentially, this is a password if we're talking about an ECU. This could represent a PIN code. The idea is the same, but the principles to achieve success may differ. It is just, I don't know, like, you know, before any of this, I took people like me, who I've become, for granted. I thought they were uneducated. I thought locksmiths were like, you know, tow truck drivers. And don't take offense to that, anybody, because I've learned that tow truck drivers are fucking amazing too. Did you know if you tow a Mercedes-Benz wrong, you'll cause like 12 grand in damage to the airbag suspension? But basically, that's the gist of my whole video this time around. is that, just because people do something differently, you should not judge them. Have a good day.